great hand. Great flop. Let's see how much we can make with this hand. I think 10 big blinds is enough. So now basically we've got a great board, so I don't want to bet like too much. Fold. So if I bet like 15 or something, like 17, he will have like 50 behind, and that to make the pot like close to 50, which will give him like a pot size bet on the river. So I think like 70, like close to half pot is good enough. Pot is 62 now, and he's getting a great price on the river. Hopefully he doesn't have a jack, but since he only bet like one big blind, I don't think he has it. We have to shove. If he has a jack, it's painful, but so be it. We have to go for max value here. He makes the call. He has a jack. It's very unlucky. It is what it is. We can never check behind the river. River is not so great, but he can still have like worse ace x, like let's see the board. He could have a hand like ace queen, and then my king would still play, because then I would have aces and jacks with a king here. So like every ace below ace king is actually, I'm getting actually value from that hand. He had like 3 jacks, so fair enough, he had like 2 jacks and 3 queens that he could hit, because he already has a queen in his hand and a jack in his hand, and there are 2 jacks on the board. So no, sorry, 1 jack on the board. So on the river he only had 5 outs. He could only hit like 2 jacks and 3 queens. So got pretty unlucky there. He had 5 outs on the turn, so it means that he had like on the turn he had like about 10%. He had 10% chance to win that hand, which is pretty unlucky on my part. I'm gonna dog bet here. I could check and check raise, but if I check, he might check behind, and I don't like that. So pretty good board for me. But if I check and everybody checks behind, then, or if everybody checks, then I'm leaving money on the table, because I could get value on flop, and there are a lot of cards on the turn that are bad for me. Think about a diamond, think about a 9, a 10. Like a 10 could give me like 10 would give me 2 pairs, so it's not that bad. But it could fill up a straight, like 9 8. 9 8. Yeah, sorry, my brain is not working. 9 8, ace king, and this guy plays terrible. Plays terrible poker. How can you have it? Wow. See, poker is still very easy, guys. Very easy to play this game. You just need to find opponents that are worth it. And there are plenty of opponents that are playing really bad. Poker is still beatable. It's a great spot. We're just gonna make it 20. I'm not gonna make it too big. Don't want them to fold. Thomas has already called, which is great. Gives him a better price to call. Great flop. Just gonna bet like tiny, not even this amount, but really tiny, because I want to induce a raise and I want to build a pot a little bit. So, and the board is like really dry. How come Thomas folds? Like he always calls and now he folds. How is that even possible? I'm gonna bet a bit more, like a little bit less than, a little bit more than last time, but still enough. Okay, so he has 55 back and there's 110, approximately 110 in the pot. So he's getting a great price. If he has a 9 or pocket 7s even, he has to call. So I'm gonna put him all in. Wow, he folds. Wow. Maybe he just had like ace high or something? Ace higher, I don't know. Was not expecting a fold on the river. I gave him a great price to call. I know I would be tempted in his spot to make the call, because you're getting a great price. Wow, just folded. I feel robbed. I feel robbed after that hand, because you're supposed to call there, man. It's 55 to call more than 100. Getting a great price, so it's insane. But he finds the full button, so it's unlucky. And I don't know how Thomas actually folded there, because this guy is really insane. I was expecting that he would just like give me some. Just flop the nuts, just like that. I think I could just bet like half pot. I don't want him to fold. Just bet half pot and hopefully he raises or something. He makes a call. 51 in the pot. If I bet half pot again, pot will be like about 100. And then, yeah, I think this is nice. Even this is too much. You can bet like less. You can bet like 20. Then pot will be 90 and he will have like about, I think this amount is nice. So now he has like a pot size bet on the river. Great board for me. Probably has like straight by now. Like if he has a 10, he has a straight. So, or he could have like, I don't know. He probably had like a flush draw and like a 10 or something, and now he has a straight. So easy shove. Hopefully he makes a call. Ah man, it's the second time. How can he fold there? Jesus Christ. How does he not call there? He did everything right. Gave him a great price on the turn, on the flop. How does he fold? Man, I guess he just didn't have the hand to call there. It's unlucky. Pretty unlucky. It is what it is. Sorry about that. I'm tired. We're gonna raise here. I think he has a pretty wide range. We're gonna raise and put him in a tough spot. Hopefully we hit good. It's a pretty good flop. Probably 61. We want to protect against like a spade or something. He could still make a call with like flush draw. Flush draw, I mean. Okay, so let's go. We're all in. I hope we hit the heart here. It's gonna be great if we hit the heart. This guy's gonna pay like a slot machine. Man, we need a 5 or a heart. A 5 or a heart. Maybe an ace is good as well, but I never call this. The pot is about 50. He's betting 200. It's like 4 times the pot. It's insane. It's such a shame, but can't call there. It's an insane call. Like we're investing too much to win too little, and we only have like let's say all of our outs are clean. Like if we hit an ace, we win. If we hit let me see here. If we need the 5 again. A 5 or an ace. Ace from space. I'm gonna use this as a bluff. Should I bet small or should I bet big? I'm gonna bet big, like if they have like ace high, maybe they can still fold. That was a quick call, so I'm just gonna give up. They both call, which is terrible. This is a pretty good turn to bluff, like if they had a flush draw. I think I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna put them all in, put them to the test. Like if they had a flush draw, then wow, it's acceptable. Wow, just wow. Oh my god, it's insane. Oh god, played that hand terrible, to be honest. This guy's even laughing at me. Oh man, sometimes you make mistakes, it's okay. I know this guy has made a ton of mistakes. Why is this guy laughing? Fountain. It's gonna happen. Sometimes it happens. I think like, when both of them call, they just give up, you know? Like if one of them calls, maybe bluff, but he was also snap call, so he's not calling there with nothing. But even though he still had a flush draw, the flush draw has a lot of equity, so I shouldn't really give up there. I shouldn't bet the turn anymore. I should definitely not bet the river. No, I went all in on the turn, so I should not bet like that. Especially when they both call a pretty big bet on the flop. I was not putting them on the flush draw though. I was thinking like sometimes this guy is gonna raise the flush draw. At least that's what I would do. Sometimes, not every time. And then this guy just check calls. He was the aggressive pre-flop, and then he just called. He overcalled actually. So I bet. And then he called, and then Lucas also called. So I don't think that's never a flush draw there. So when the flush comes on the turn, they should both fold actually. Like most of the time they should fold. But this guy, he's the only one who can have a flush draw. This T-Tox 90 is the only guy who can have like a genuine flush draw. Not always gonna raise it, but this guy can never have a flush draw. But even though my bluff is bad there, so made a mistake. It's gonna happen. This guy just every time is betting 7 big blinds. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna look him up. Maybe this can be a great pot, a big pot. I have a feeling that this is going to be a big pot. You know, this guy is thinking about it. I think he's gonna join along. The usual suspects, T-Tox, Lucas, Bestie, and me. I'm gonna blow up this spot, you know. His C-bets, don't really think he has much of anything. I could be wrong again, and then I'm punting, but this time we have a better hand. We have ace high, an overcard, and we have a flush draw, and we have the backdoor straight draw. So even if we are wrong, we can still get out of jail. This is a good turn because if he had a jack, or I mean a jack is probably not folding, but I can put a lot of pressure on his jack X, like pocket 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s, 7. I can put a lot of pressure on those hands. So I shove the turn and he folds. So that's amazing. We win a very big pot there. So we win a big pot there, so that's nice. This is an action table. Like these guys, they're betting, raising, calling everything. This table is nice. And they say online play is tight. This table is not tight, man. Definitely not tight. Lucan Spasti making some moves, some dubious moves, some questionable moves, but he's making moves. There are only like 42 hands, which is not so much. So we can tell that this guy, Lucan Spasti, is probably a recreational player. You know? And he plays also like a recreational player. He plays really bad. So I have like 38 here, which is on the higher side, but it's also a reason why I have it, because of this table actually. This table is very aggressive and they play lots of hands. And there are some recreationals, like almost all of them are like losing players. I can pretty, like maybe this guy won duo, he's tight and stuff like that, you know. He's maybe the only winner here. But all of the rest, I'm pretty confident that they're bad and that they're losing overall. We get a straight here on the turn. This guy bets full pots, like he could have like an ace, which is a lower straight, so, and there are like 2 flush draws, so I'm gonna bet really big and hopefully he puts it all in. Like, I'm not gonna mess around here, like bet small or something. I'm gonna raise real big. He's a very bad player, so he could still call it worse. He could still raise all in like he did now. We could have the same hand, but I have to raise, like, and he could still have a draw. So I have to like raise him and okay, block. Okay, so we both have the 6. I have a bit of an edge because I can hit a 7 and I could scoop him. Like if I hit a 7, then I have a bigger straight. Then I have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or like without the straight, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he has a straight to like 7, and I have a straight to like 8. So my straight will be better. Okay, so this guy raised me. I hit an ace with a jack kicker, but I'm not gonna raise it because he plays very tight, and he could easily have ace king, ace queen. He could have aces, he could have queens. There's no way I'm raising. Like this jack is not even so good. He checks. I'm gonna check behind. I don't think betting is great because if I bet, he's not gonna like. Maybe he might call the turn with like pocket kings, but if I shove the river, he's gonna fold pocket kings. So I think I can check one time and then evaluate on the river, like see what he does. If he shoves now, if he goes all in on the river, I'm just gonna fold. Even though I have an ace with a jack kicker, I think like he's gonna have like the best hand like almost every time. If I shove, I think he has a lot of like jacks, kings, maybe like ace 10, ace 9, and I think I can bet here like small bet so that he can call with pocket kings or whatever he has. If he goes all in, I'm just gonna fold because I don't think he's gonna bluff here. Even though he checked the turn and he checked the river, if he shoves here, I'm just gonna fold. There's no point in like hero calling. I have an ace, yes, but I don't think it's worth it to hero call, especially against this guy. Like he has PPIP of 13, you know, and now it went up to like 17. And it's not like my stats are broken or anything, but it's just that it's only 24 hands. So I told you before that the stats, you know, you have to take a bit of grain of salt, you know. Now he has 25 hands and it went down to like 16. So it's always gonna change a little bit. But mine is still like 39, 26, you know, so because I have already 158 hands. So at a certain point it stabilizes. Like this guy also has like 45, 50. So yeah. We're gonna raise here, especially against this guy. We could even make it bigger. Like I should even make it bigger. This is a mistake. I can easily make it bigger. And you're gonna say like, oh, it's not a big mistake, but it actually is. Like if he's going to call with the same amount of hands, then why make it smaller? Like you should make it bigger. And here I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna overbet because he makes a lot of like calling mistakes, and he could have like king queen of hearts. He can easily call. He can have like worst case eggs. He could have just a bare flush draw. Like this guy can have like a lot of hands. So he's making a lot of like mistakes, like betting mistakes, like all kinds of mistakes, betting mistakes, raising mistakes, calling mistakes. This guy's just making so many mistakes. He has a big stack, so he has like 272. But that's actually good for us because we want to play against this guy. We want to take his money, and it's gonna be pretty easy to take his money actually because he makes so many mistakes that it's actually pretty easy to take his money. This guy Vitaly has like 388 big blinds, but he plays like he plays more solid than this guy, even though his stats are really bad. I don't understand his stats because he has played like in this game. He has played pretty tightly. It's not like he's playing like every hand. Like the VPIP is like 45%, but 45% it actually means that you play half of your hands, like a little bit less than half of your hands. And so far I haven't seen that. Like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I haven't like paid so much attention, but it looks like it looks like he knows what he's doing. Like he has like 388 big blinds. He could just be lucky, but I don't really see that he's. That's why I first gave him the maniac tag, and now it seems like he's playing a little bit more, maybe more cautious. We're gonna go all in with this hand. I'm gonna raise him, and hopefully he comes over the top. I'm not folding this hand, even though we are playing like with a lot of money, like 221 big blinds. There's no way I'm folding. Like if he decides to go all in pre-flop, there's no way I'm folding. Gonna bet big here. It's the same like the previous hands, like with the ace, ace and the 10 and with the hearts. I'm gonna bet big here. Hopefully he makes a mistake. He calls. That's great for us. He bets pretty big. I'm just gonna put him all in because I don't think he's ever gonna fold here, and I don't want to call. And then if I call and the river is bad for him, then I might go all in on the river and he might fold. Don't want him to fold. We're gonna go all in. This is a great spot. Wow, he just folds. He bets so much on the turn. How much was that? 61 big blind, 71 big blind, and then he ends up folding. That's insane. That is actually insane. That's too bad. Like we've had like a couple of good spots against him, and every time he just ends up folding. That's so unlucky. But it is what it is. I'm actually this session is going pretty well. I really can't complain. The ace, the king of hearts is, I don't know, I don't think it's that great. Like it might seem crazy because I have like not flush draw and I have top pair, but I think I already was good on the flop, so I don't think I need a discard because this card is really a scary card. Like I'm gonna even check, hopefully he bluffs the river. Maybe it's a bad decision, but the queen is really horrible. You can easily have a queen here. I'm gonna call. Like if I bet the turn, I'm pretty sure he would fold. He should fold actually, but because like the flush comes in, and it's a king. No, yeah, it's a king, but he has a king. But still, he should not call the turn because he only has like second pair. There was already an ace on the board, so there's no way he can call the turn. So me checking the turn induced the bluff by him on the river. So I actually like my decision. I was not sure, but I like my decision because I made him to bluff on the turn, and if I bet the turn, he's gonna fold. So I make no money by betting the turn because I'm not getting called by worse. Like even though I have strong hands. like if my opponent can call, like if I have like the absolute nuts on the river, and the pot is like 60 big blinds, and I have 300 big blinds. I have 300 big blinds, then there's no need to go all in on the river unless you're gonna make a ton of calling mistakes. So that I can make like a bad call, but I'm not falling into that trap, man. Like I've made some mistakes this session, but I'm not making that mistake. Like, I have made like even worse mistakes than that, but this time I've learned. I'm not gonna fall into that trap, man. Okay, luck and spastic. Let's go, man. Come on. 6 big blinds. Let's make it 18, man. Let's go. If you go all in, you win. Okay, so he makes a call. Not a great flop. Man. I'm gonna check. Don't wanna blow the pot. Like if I blow the pot and even if he calls, like the turn could be horrible, and then I have to check fold. So I'm just gonna check. And now he's not gonna put me on an ace, so this is actually great. You know, and then, okay, he checks. I'm gonna bet. Should I bet? Or should I bet? I'm gonna check. You know, I'm gonna let him bluff, man. Let him bluff. This is great. I told you, man. Checking was better. He just bluffed all of his money away. Unless he has ace queen, but I never think he has I don't think he has ace queen, because he would have gone all in on the this guy. He would have gone all in on the flop. Like you should not go all in on the flop with ace queen, but this guy is so bad that he would do that. You know, so we have the nuts. Unless he has ace 4, but still don't think he has that. So. Yeah, just a complete bluff. If we bet the turn, he just folds because he has 7 high. You know, he has 7 high, so yeah. And this is the same guy that was laughing at us before. Like he was ha 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 and all that. Yeah, who's laughing now? Who's the bitch now, man? Wait, we just hit a straight. Wow, we hit the nuts. Like, we actually have... No, 9-10. 9-10 is the actual nuts, but this is good enough. I'm just gonna go all in. Like, hopefully he makes like a sick call. He's probably gonna fold. Oh, duh, but like, he's bad enough where he can call with like reverse hand, so... I'm just gonna shove there and hopefully make a call. Like even if I bet like 10 big blinds there, like no, he's not gonna call always 10 big blinds. Even if I bet an amount that he's always gonna call, like if I bet like 1/3 of the pot, which is like 3 big blinds or something. If I make that bet, like he's gonna call that 100% of the time because he's bad. But what I wanna explain is, if I make that bet 10 times in a row, he's gonna pay me like 10 times in a row because he's so bad he can't fold. So I make 3 times 10, which is actually 30. So I'm gonna make like 30 big blinds in that scenario. But if I were to shove the river, go all in on the river, and he only called me like 1 time out of 10, which is he only calls me 10% of the time, even if that's the case, like clearly going all in is better. Even if he only calls me like 1/10 of the time, like 10% of the time, because he's so bad, he can actually call me 10% of the time. Like normally you should not get a call there, like not even like 2% or something. But this guy is so bad, he will still call you like a decent amount of the time. So yeah, I think I should actually go all in there, because if I go all in and he only calls me 1 out of 10, then I win his whole stack, which is more than 100 big blinds. So the best play is actually to go all in instead of like betting like 3 big blinds, and even if like he folds like 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 to the 3 big blinds, you're making so much loss by doing that. You're losing money by doing that, because if he calls you like 8 out of 10 there with the 3 big blinds, and he only calls like 1 out of 10 where you go all in for more than 100 big blinds, you're making more profit in the long term. So I think going all in is the best play there, even though it didn't get called. And if it doesn't get called, like, you're not gonna feel like it's a good play, but it's actually a good play, because all of your plays should be based on long term. They should be based on the long term. Poker is a strategy game, and it's a game that you play based on long term. It's not based on like what works now. And, you should not play your hand like your hand. You should play your hand like your range, and you should play according to a strategy, you know. Maybe I've like talked about it a little bit too much, but I think for some people it's like good, so that they know that, because bet sizing is actually not so easy as you think. Like, I think a lot of players, they just bet like half pot and they hope it's a good bet, but if you bet like half pot like every single time, you're actually leaving a lot of money on the table. If this guy stops, I'm stopping as well. Yeah, he stops. There's no way I'm playing with these guys. They're way too tight. This guy doesn't even have 100 big blinds. So I'm gonna stop now. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Oh wow. Okay, so this guy's back. The party animal is back. Santa Claus is back. He's back with presents. He's gonna pay us like a jackpot, like a slot machine. Wow, and he's back, and I immediately have a great hand. So I'm gonna actually bet like 3 big blinds, even 4 big blinds. This guy's so bad. This guy's trash. He's gonna call. Sorry for my language, but this guy's really bad. I'm gonna bet half pot. I would normally bet like 3 big blinds here, but this guy's so bad. I'm gonna bet 6 big blinds. I think he can still call with worse. Great turn. If I bet, I should actually bet. Wait, if I bet 22, he has like 100 behind. So I should actually overbet, like a slight overbet, and then hopefully I could get his stack on the river. Like I'm always thinking like, if I bet this much, he's gonna have this much by the river. And that's also what you should be thinking, because you should always be thinking about bet sizing. That's the exact point that I'm making. Like, a lot of people, they just bet half pot, and they would have bet half pot in that scenario. But isn't the best play to bet half pot there? He's a calling station, so if he's gonna call your half pot bet, he's probably calling like 3/4 bet, 3/4 pot size bet as well. And if he's calling 3/4, maybe he might call like a pot size bet, like maybe half of the time. But still, it's gonna profit you, you know. So you should always think a little bit further. Don't just think like, oh, I'm gonna bet like half pot, and I'm gonna do this generic play because everyone does it. No, you should always think like outside the box. Like against other players, you might bet half pot there, and it might be a good play. This guy goes all in, man. I don't know what I have to do here. He could easily have a draw. He could also have a king, but he hasn't done anything crazy. Like he hasn't like, I mean, he has done some crazy shit. but he hasn't like. He probably has a king. He hasn't made a sick bluff, and I have the ace of clubs as well. I'm just gonna fold. Yes, I have the ace of clubs, so it takes a lot of bluffs away. A lot of potential bluffs that he has. This guy's crazy though. Like against any other player, I would snap fold. But this guy is crazy. He might do some crazy, insane bluff that you think is absolutely garbage. But this guy, man, this is why I like playing with him. But I don't think I should call there, even though he can still make like some crazy plays. Like you see, if you just play like ABC against this guy, if you just play standard and normal, you're gonna print off this guy. You don't need to make the hero call there. You don't need to make the hero call there. Because sometimes you make the hero call and you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good and you're gonna win. So you're gonna think like, oh, okay, this is a good call. But sometimes you're gonna call there and you're gonna lose. And then I don't think it's worth it. Like, also like when you call there and you lose, like it's like also like a mind game, like also like a mental game, you know. If you call there and you lose, you might like start getting a little bit tilted, getting a little bit frustrated, and then your play is gonna get worse and worse and worse. You know, so I would rather like play a little bit safe again, not really safe, but play a little safer against him. And I'm not only gonna call with the nuts, you know, but I only have like ace high there, so there's no need. Like I'm at the bottom of my range there. There's no need for that call. Even though I know he's crazy. I know he's capable of like making these bluffs. But like, just look at this hand now. He has queen 4. He has queen 4 of spades, like total nothing, total airball. And he didn't bluff. Like he just checked it to the river and he lost, you know, and I also lost. So even though he makes some crazy things, you know, because with the previous hand that I played against him, where we won that big pot, we won it because like we slow played our hand and we gave him the opportunity to bluff. But this hand was different because he just went all in on the flop, and after I made an aggressive play, like after I c-bet the flop, I didn't c-bet big, but he still went all in on the river. So I think I should definitely fold. I think it was an easy fold actually. It's just because this player is so bad that I thought about calling him. So yeah. Maybe we finally got this guy. Okay, we got him. The mistake that I've made before is like, I always raise him and then he just gets an easy fold. I'm not making that mistake. I'm just gonna call. And that's a great river. Hopefully it just goes all in or bets like huge. No, don't check. God. He even has an ace. I would have stacked that guy. How does he check the river like? Even if he like bets small, I'm gonna go all in and then he's gonna call and then he loses. Man, how does he check behind the river? It was a good check by him, by all means. Like he played his hand pretty well. It's unlucky, man. Unlucky. How does he fold there? How did he check there the river? Man, so lucky. tally with 6-10, with 10-6. Like, okay, on the turn it's fine, but like pre-flop, that's a really loose call. Don't understand the call. I have the same hand, but I'm playing against Luck and Specie. Wow, he is gone. And this time I don't think he's coming back. So, I'm gonna call it quits here. I'm gonna stop the session because I don't really have motivation to play anymore. And against this guy is also like, man, I have queens, like great hand. It's just like one hand too late. Like, if I had the hand earlier, I could have taken everything from this guy, Luck and Specie. I'm definitely stopping now. I get the queen's hand like one hand too late. Man, it's insane. Stopping, like, this is insane. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching.